There's almost a competition among people to see who can carry as little weight as possible in their backpack and still have a successful trip. And while I understand the desire to want to keep your backpack as light as possible, there's actually another way you can make this easier on yourself. If you want your backpack to be lighter, the simple solution, which is going to benefit you in other ways, is to make yourself stronger. There's a simple progression that you can do, whether you're a beginner or a professional, that if you stick with it and be consistent with it, it's going to actually make your backpack feel almost next to nothing, if not nothing. So much of the advice out there is to just put more weight in your backpack or put as much weight in your backpack as you feel you can handle and then just train with that. And while you do want to train with weights and gradually progress up in the amount of weight you're carrying while you're training, you can actually make this a lot easier on yourself by simply wearing the backpack a little bit more often, building up the time you wear the backpack and building up the weight gradually. The progression is this. Whatever your anticipated backpack weight is, you want to carry 3 to 10% of that weight initially for 3 to 10% of your anticipated time. If you put too much weight into your backpack, one of the first things that's going to change is your posture. You're going to naturally have to flex your neck, which is kind of the text neck posture, head jutting forward. This is going to happen naturally, whether you think it is or not. You're going to constantly fight it, but if the weight is too heavy, no matter what, your body's going to compensate. The same thing goes for the hip flexion or trunk flexion, which is naturally leaning forward to compensate for the weight pulling you back. Again, if the weight's too heavy, your body is just going to naturally do this. You can try to fight it, but if there's too much resistance back there, you're just going to have to compensate. This is why the progression I'm outlining here works well. It allows you to build up the weight and the time gradually. So again, you want to start out with 3 to 10% of your anticipated backpack weight for 3 to 10% of the anticipated time you'll have the backpack on. This may be very light at first, and that's fine, because partly this is in addition to the other training you will or should be doing. If you're a beginner, it works even better to start very light. You want to give yourself at least 12 weeks to do this, and preferably longer. You progress up 3 to 10% each week in both the weight and the time with the backpack on. The time is the easier variable to manipulate here, so if you feel you need to, stick with a certain weight for longer before adding more. The heavier you go, whether it's with this progression or with other training, you simply won't be able to go for as long. As the weeks go by, you'll have to have the backpack on for longer and longer, or for as long as you possibly can anyway. I understand you live in the real world, and you may not be able to have it on while you're performing an operation or crawling into someone's attic to fix their air conditioner when it's 110 degrees, but just do the best you can. The more time you condition yourself with the backpack on, the stronger you will be, the more endurance you will have, and the easier your hike or backpacking trip will be as well. Over time, your backpack will feel lighter and lighter, and with enough training, it will feel like virtually nothing. And that's a really good point to get to as a hiker or a backpacker. I want to repeat again that this program is in addition to other forms of weighted training that you should be doing. So yeah, stop worrying about trying to make your backpack as light as possible. Train to make yourself as strong as possible. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And thank you for watching.